Hey everybody, it's Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday. We have 3 stories in the news today and our Newsflash. We're going to take a look at Ripple. That's talking about xRapid, which may potentially go live in the next month or so. We have a Google executive who's admonishing those of us that are bragging about our crypto holdings, warning us about that kind of behavior and activity online. And we have this news by way of Garrett, who's talking about Bitcoin hash power, which just keeps increasing. In fact, it has doubled since May. But we're going to begin, as always, on altcoinbuzz.io with our Newsflash. This was the news. So if you're not already familiar with this, it's something that we put out every week. We're just talking about the 4 or 5 stories that have really shaped the market, that have really made waves in the space. So all the links are here. We're not going to go over these stories individually in any great detail, but you can take a look at them. Make sure you're caught up if you haven't read up on them already. Of course, we discussed Morgan Stanley, which is the next big, hopefully, investment bank, which is looking to enter into the crypto space. That news comes to us by way of anonymous sources, however, so let's keep an eye on that story. You can read about it here if you like. Chinese find ways to avoid crypto trading ban with Tether and VPNs. Number 3, the waves are getting bigger. Malta adopting Waves platform. Looks like both the country and Waves are getting more and more cozy with each other for future plans. And finally, Coinbase's new blockchain association will lobby Washington, D.C. So if you haven't caught up with these stories just yet, they are big ones. They have impacted the cryptocurrency markets. Do be sure to check them out. We're going to link to this article, of course, in the description below. And with other news here by Luke, Ripple hints that xRapid will go live, quote, in the next month or so. Very positive news for Ripple holders today. Sagar Sarbai, head of regulatory relations for Ripple in the Asia Pacific and Middle East regions, told CNBC the release of xRapid is near. According to Sarbahi, the firm believes xRapid could launch in a month or so. The product, xRapid, is a commercial application that uses the cryptocurrency XRP as a kind of bridge between currencies, allowing payment providers and banks to process faster cross-border transactions. So we don't really have specifics as far as when and where exactly, but as Sagar said here, quote, I am very confident that in the next 1 month or so, you will see some good news coming in where we launch the product live in production. And you guys can read more about Luke's description as to why this has potential as a product. It looks like it's going to dramatically lower costs while enabling real-time payments in emerging markets. And as Luke points out, according to Sarbai, more than 120 banks and financial institutions located worldwide are currently using the firm's xCurrent product. The challenge will be to convince those firms to upgrade to xRapid, even as many financial institutions remain cautious or even outright hostile toward cryptocurrency. If Ripple succeeds, however, this will give XRP a huge boost, and there is no doubt that the price of XRP will go on to new highs. In another quick story today, also by Luke, Google executive warns against bragging online about your crypto holdings. You know, guys, whether you're in the cryptocurrency space or who knows, you could be in the stock or bond space, whatever the case may be, it's never a good idea to be too outspoken about your wealth, about your assets. So I think this kind of more generally is advice that we can all take to heart, we can all follow. It's best, to keep those things a little bit more private, certainly keep them offline and be more modest about the things you post on social media. Stop drawing attention to yourself by advocating how much crypto you hold. It is a message that has been spread by a lot of people already multiple times, but still many people keep bragging about their holdings in nearly every Telegram chat and under YouTube videos. Bad idea. Scammers and cyber attackers are paying attention, and they might be coming for you. In a recent interview with CNBC, Google security lead Mark Reicher cautioned crypto traders against boasting of their cryptocurrency portfolio on the internet. I think this is pretty standard advice that we can all agree on. Reicher said, quote, it could just be a case of mistaken identity or guilt by association. They could be using someone who seems to be low value to pivot towards somebody considered a higher value target, like somebody political in nature. Or maybe they saw that you were discussing Bitcoin on a public message board. Reicher also warned that social media has increased the sophistication with which many attackers target their victims through allowing scammers to conduct detailed research into the individuals that they target. According to Reicher, quote, you might think of this generic dear sir or madam, I am contacting you to ask you for a favor, but the truth is many of these attackers have done some serious research on their victims, so they are in fact targeted in their approach. You guys can read more about this. I think it's pretty, advice that we can all generally agree upon here. Speaking in general, it's best not to brag about your wealth, whether it's crypto or otherwise, your holdings, your assets on social media and online, especially if you have a YouTube channel, especially if you have a bit more of a public public profile. So let us know what you think about this, whether you agree with Mr. Reicher over at Google. Seems like pretty sound advice to me. Finally, today in the news, we have a quick article by Garrett. Bitcoin hash power has doubled since May. So despite the 70% correction and the bear market that we continue to see, and by the way, there's just been another retracement since the time I started putting this video together, so it hasn't stopped. But despite that, the hash power on the Bitcoin network has doubled since May. So if nothing else, the miners in the cryptocurrency space are very determined and they're very perseverant. BitcoinWisdom.com shows that the mining difficulty has also almost doubled since May. The website's data also confirms Fundstrat's claim that indeed the Bitcoin hash rate has doubled since that time. Mining difficulty has increased or decreased relative to the amount of hashing power on the network to keep up with Satoshi Nakamoto's original design of only releasing one block every 600 seconds or every 10 minutes. And it's amazing to see that the hash power keeps increasing because according to Sam Doctor of Fundstrat, he says that the break-even price for mining Bitcoin is still $7,300, and we're sitting below that currently. And as Sam points out here, despite Bitcoin bear market, hash power doubled since May to 57 e-hashes, even with upgrades to the equipment, implies almost 1 gigawatt of new power consumption versus 5.2 gigawatts in May of 2018. Break-even point is now $7,300 versus $6,000 in May. Mining becoming FCF. Once again, that's courtesy of Sam Doctor over at Fundstrat. So what do you guys think about the determination of these miners? Some are saying that it's a leading indicator of positivity in the market because, as Garrett writes, these increases in difficulty and hash rate are positive indicators. It shows that people are not jumping ship and are comfortable with spending thousands of dollars for small amounts of profit. In the process, these miners are strengthening the network and thus encouraging others to join. Let us know what you think out there in the altcoin buzz army. Maybe you guys are mining on your own. Maybe you have your own industrial setup. Certainly cloud mining is less profitable than ever at this stage. But as you can see here, the Bitcoin hash rate versus the difficulty, they just keep moving, and it just seems like no matter what, they're undeterred collectively in the buildup of hash processing power. And we're, by the way, here on BitcoinWisdom.com. If you want to check out some of these metrics and some of the specifics, we will link to them in the description below. With that, guys, make sure you're following Altcoin Buzz and Altcoin Buzz News on Twitter to keep up to speed with the latest developments in the space. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. If you haven't already checked out our latest video, click on it here on the right, as well as the link to altcoinbuzz.io, where you're going to be able to get up to speed with our latest publications. Members of the Altcoin Buzz army, yeah, we've got a bit of a retracement today, so let's see what happens. If you choose to invest, hey, I wish you happy investing. We'll see you again soon in a new video. Take care. Have a great one.